Hey guys, welcome back to RCunexttuesday. Today we're just going to be giving a quick little talk through and a rundown of everything that we've done to our TRXs so far. This was a video requested by one of our followers on a previous video, so if you've got any suggestions and what you want to see, then just let us know in the comments. So from here on in, this is everything that we've done to our TRXs to get them as you see them on our channel and on our Instagram. So as you can see here, we've got the TRX-4 Defender body. This one in particular started life as a tactical unit. It looked pretty cool to begin with, but it got boring quickly, so we decided to swap it up a little and go for two Defenders. So first things first, we've got upgraded bumpers, front and rear. These were one of the first major upgrades to this one in particular. They do cause it to get caught up on rocks a bit more, obviously, because it's quite a flat surface, so you don't just glide off them like you do on the angled sort of bumpers that you find on the SCX and trucks like that. That came with the bumpers was these little shackles. They came with the bumpers too. There was a tow bar that also came with them, but that was never something that we were really interested in attaching to it. We've got the mud flaps. These ones are quite flimsy, they were only cheap, quite oversized. We're just going to trim those down, get them to a bit more of a realistic size for the truck. We have got some other Defender ones lying around somewhere which we're going to use for the template of how big to cut them to. Moving on, we got the light kit. That was pretty early on. That actually came out of the other Defender as we started to upgrade that one through this in mind, just so that it didn't go to waste. We have got lying around as well the sump guard for the underside of the chassis, just go on there. We haven't got around to sticking that on yet, but that will hopefully be done in the near future at some point. So as you can see, we've got the magnets on. These ones screwed in, these ones just pinned in with an actual body pin. So you just pull that off, that comes straight off. Well done me. We've also got these step plates on the side, the checkered plates. They're beginning to lift a bit, get quite dirty underneath, so that needs cleaning out, re-gluing. Shouldn't be too much of an issue to do. And then finally for the chassis, we've got the Pitbull Rock Beast 1.9 tyres mounted on just some cheap rims that were found on eBay, but they over rocks and the more solid terrain, they're unstoppable. They are the best tyres we've had so far. So moving on, this is where the majority of the upgrades and additions are seen. Like I said, this started off as a tactical unit, so when Traxxas released the clear bodies, we bought one of those. It took quite a while to decide what scheme we were going for. Decided on the black and white. That was done with Tamiya paints. It worked pretty well considering it hasn't been painted since it was done initially, and there aren't any points on the body which you can clearly tell that the paint is wearing off. Two different types of vents. These ones were just to break up the colour a bit and add some contrast to the white, so it wasn't just block colours as such. These ones were added specifically with the purpose of hiding the body mounts. Traxxas do send out their clear bodies with the holes pre-drilled, which is useful, but in this instance they weren't needed, so just glued some vents on there to cover those up. The back ones you can still see, but they are glued, which kind of blends in. We've also got the hood hinges on here and some headlight covers. The LEDs are also fitted in there, as you can see, the body mounts, the magnets, they're just glued in as well. Got the light bar on as well, the rear lights, so that's all connected, all works. Never really run the light bar too much though. It's just kind of there for aesthetics really. We've got the standard roll cage, snorkel, wing mirrors, grille. I think that on the exterior is about it for the standard parts. Obviously we've got the wheel wells, the rear mounting kit. We got these door meshes. To get those to fit, we actually had to bend the top to suit the curve of the truck, but we also had to trim the door handles and remove the bottom door hinge, otherwise they just weren't going on really. They're screwed in to the sides, as you can see there. It's easy job to get them on and off realistically, but when they're on, because of these screws in the side, it doesn't sit too flush in the step plates anymore. So whilst we're on the doors, you can see just about the outline of the doors. We just kind of went over that with a Sharpie. There's a little groove on the actual body, and that was done at a similar time to the actual paint job. So again, on the back, it doesn't, you can just about make out what it was meant to be, but it has started to fade. But at the same time, we didn't really see the point in redoing it, because this one was potentially being upgraded quite a while ago. Hasn't happened yet, but this will also be going to the hard body route. Just trying to decide on which one to go for. So again, if you've got any comments on that, just let us know down in the comments what you think we should go for. Also on the topic of permanent markers, we've got logo, bolts all coloured in, door handles too. Just breaks up the black a bit. As you can see on this side, the Defender logo isn't coloured in there, seeing as the mechanic didn't fancy doing his job, but you know. This one's coloured in because, like I said, it doesn't really stand out too much. I mean, there, the black on black, you can't see too much. You can there in the light, but other than that, it just kind of blends in with the actual windows. 3D printed fuel cap, also got the silver Sharpie. Did have a Defender sticker on the front. We actually lost one of the letters though, so it just looks stupid, so that was taken off. We've got the Land Rover one on the back still. We've got spares of both. That's just about it for the body. And then we've got the interior. Not really much was done to it. It needed trimming a bit just so that we could fit the body post through the back to get it to actually secure to the chassis. And then we just needed a driver once that was in. We've got John Cena driving. He's got his bottle of Coke in there. He was about as good as a driver as we could find at the time, so obviously most wrestlers come without a shirt, so we just made him one out of duct tape basically, and he was good to go.
Right, now mine is the easy one. As you can see, it's a better looking car. It's mine started out as the red Defender, but I did get bored of it pretty quickly. So I changed it over style wise to a tray back, and then it went from that. I decided to put the camel trophy colours on it, and I had that for a while. But obviously with flexing the body, I thought it wasn't going to last long. I crash it too much. So this, obviously with the hard plastic, is going to last me much better. So what I did to start with is, if we have a quick look under the hood, there we go. Right, earth magnets to keep it on, cut out the section on the back. Most of this is in the actual build video that we did. More recently though, it's been a bit more about styling this body. So we have the roof rack, front hood grille, which I think breaks it up massively compared to the plain yellow body. And I've also recently had this new edition turret, So I mean,
that's going to make it look fantastic.
so I'll be adding that shortly, along with this was the old SCX10 bumper we had. Now it was in the workshop, so I thought it suited the body, so we'll have a bash with it for a bit. But as you can see, held on with a cable tie now. Just crashing, just generally taking it a little bit further than it should be. So I've just had this one turn up, which should be a much better fit, and it's a much better look. We put on these much larger, I think they're Louis tyres. They're crazy good on the loose dirt, not so good on the rock. In the mud, they're amazing. Now I have a new driver. If you have a look, Mr. Diggle from the Arrow movie series, fits perfectly. Probably one of the best fitted drivers we've had. On the bottom, I've already fitted one of the guards that my colleague was talking about, and haven't fitted the back one just yet. But as you know, these things take time, so he's going to have to wait for certain bits of his car to be done.
Wouldn't if I had a decent mechanic.
It'd be better if you didn't keep crashing your car. But I've obviously done the same thing with the hinges, just a little bit of colour, just to break up the monotony of everything being standard. So as I say, with the new additions that will be going on this car, things are going to be looking much better. Standard rear bumper from the original Defender body. That is still cable tied in at the minute. If there's anything we've missed, or there's anything you can see that you want us to describe, or just generally talk about, or even just apologise for in the way it looks, let us know in the comments.
I'll slap the mechanic.
He needs a mechanic, so if you see some of the bashing videos, he definitely needs the mechanic. But anyway, as I say, give us a like, comment. If you don't like it, fine. But I'm sure you will. Everything on here, other than the bodies, for me is pretty standard. I've just had to shift things around. But like I said, it's in the other video. So if you check it out. And thanks for watching.